Buongiorno classe! Come state? Sto molto bene, grazie. Oggi cominciamo. Today we are starting classe con... Che verbo è? What verb is it? Questi sono I verbi nuovi. These are our new verbs per il capitolo nuovo for our new unit, cibo, food. So, andiamo avanti. We'll go through per ogni verbo, for every verb. Io spiego, I'll explain it in inglese. There are some comprehension checkpoints along the way, and some parts where io faccio, I will do un gesto, a gesture per ogni verbo, every verb to help you remember what it means. All right, andiamo. Let's go. Primo verbo, numero uno. Prenotare means to reserve. Ordinare is a cognate in inglese, which means it looks the same, sounds the same, and has the same meaning in multiple languages. Ordinare means to order. Cenare, this comes from nostro vocabolario del cibo. Cena means dinner. Cenare is to eat dinner, specifically. Not just mangiare cena, but cenare is to eat dinner. I guess you could say mangiare, mangio cena, I eat dinner. But anyway. Pranzare, another vocabolario word. Pranzo means lunch. So pranzare is to eat lunch. Prossimo, next one. Cucinare. This word's a little bit of a throwback to la casa vocabolario. Cucina might look familiar. Cucina is un posto, a place nella casa, in the house where one cooks. So cucinare is to cook. To cook person, yeah. So we're not actually cooking people with cucinare, but it's referring to when a person is cooking, as opposed to like the food is cooking. If that makes sense. All right. First comprehension checkpoint. Che verbo è? Ascoltate, listen to the verb. Lo dico, I will say it 3 volte, 3 times. Il primo verbo, the first verb in our comprehension checkpoint is prenotare. Prenotare. Prenotare means to reserve. Next one. Che verbo è? Il prossimo verbo, the next verb, again, I will say it 3 volte, 3 times, is ordinare. 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 Che verbo è? To order. Next one. Cenare. 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 Che verbo è? To eat dinner. Cena. Next one. Pranzare. 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 Che verbo è? Pranzo, to eat lunch. Next one. Cucinare. 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 Che verbo è? To cook. Cucina. Ottimo lavoro, nice job. Andiamo avanti. Let's move on. Incontrare is the next verbo. Here's a gesture for incontrare, 2 people that meet, or multiple people that meet. Incontrare is a cognate for encounter. So, to meet or to encounter. Incontrare. Incontrare. Mescolare. 2. What could it mean? To mix. Mescolare. Mescolare. Next one. Tagliare. Ricordate, remember, these are all things that have to do either with cibo in some way, shape, or form. Tagliare. Tagliare is to cut. Riscaldare. Riscaldare. Che caldo. Riscaldare. So here we have calda, which means warm. Riscaldare is to heat up or to warm up. Next one, Similar here to our parola, our nostro vocabolario, our vocab, bevanda, bere, bere, which means to drink. Okay, so as a little bit of a recap, we have incontrare, mescolare, tagliare, riscaldare, and bere, bere. Here's our next checkpoint. Che verbo è? I will do the gesture for you, create the gesture for you. And voi decidete, you will see what verbo it could be. Il primo, the first one so far, is che verbo è? It is mescolare. Next one. To encounter. Che verbo è? It is incontrare. Next one. Che verbo è? It is tagliare. To cut. Next one. Che verbo è? It is bere, to drink. Andiamo avanti. Let's move on. Dovere means to must or to have to. Dovere. I have to cook dinner. I have to study, right? Io dovere. Io devo leggere. I have to read. Io devo tagliare. I have to cook. Okay. In Inglese, sometimes we say, I must cook, I must read, I must cut. Here, dovere, difficile. It can be difficult to confuse it with our verb avere, which means to have. Dovere, think of it as a checklist. What do you have to complete? Dovere. Next one. Leggere. Leggere is to read. Okay, so far, dovere, to must or have to, leggere, to read. Scrivere, to write. This, believe it or not, is a cognate with Inglese. You may or may not have heard of the word scribe before. A scribe is someone that writes what someone else is saying. Scrivere. Next one, mettere, to put. We're going to make pretend we are putting, mettere, something in the oven. Mettere. Mettere. Next one. Chiudere. 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 To close. You might hear me say, I think I spelled that wrong. You might hear me say nella classe di italiano, per favore, chiudi la porta, for example. Chiudere, to close. So again, as a little bit of a recap, we have chiudere, to close, mettere, to put in, pretending, put in the oven, right? Mettere. Scrivere, to write. Leggere, to read. Dovere, to must or to have to. So, che verbo è? I'll do the gesture and voi decidete, you decide. El primo verbo, the first one, is che verbo è? It is dovere, to must or to have to. Dovere. Next one. Che verbo è? It is leggere. Leggere, which is to read. Prossimo verbo, next verb. Che verbo è? It is scrivere, to write, like a scribe. Prossimo verbo. Che verbo è? It is chiudere, close the door. Chiudi la porta, per favore. Chiudere. Last one. Che verbo è? It is mettere, right? Put something in the oven. Ottimo lavoro, stay tuned per parte 2.